I'll never forget. It was a Sunday, and the entire city was buzzing with excitement for the Grand Dance Flash Mob Festival. People had gathered at the main square, music was blaring at full volume, and the crowd was in a state of euphoria. My wife, Emily, was right in the middle of this chaos. She had always loved dancing, and this festival was her chance to shine. Her eyes sparkled with joy as she told me about the choreographer, Jake, who had inspired her to join. I remember feeling proud and supportive, eager to see her in her element. As the festival drew closer, Emily spent more and more time at rehearsals. She would come home late, exhausted but with a smile that lit up the room. She talked about the new friends she made and how Jake was helping her improve her technique. I was happy for her, seeing how passionate she was about the dance. However, as weeks passed, I started noticing changes. Emily seemed more distant, and we were spending less and less time together. Her life revolved around dance rehearsals and team meetings, leaving little room for anything else. One day, on a whim, I decided to surprise her at rehearsal. I walked into the studio and saw her laughing and exchanging what seemed like intimate glances with Jake. They looked so comfortable and close that a pang of unease settled in my chest. I brushed it off, convincing myself it was nothing, just friendly camaraderie. That night, I tried to talk to Emily. She reassured me that there was nothing between her and Jake, that it was purely professional. But there was something in her eyes, something she wasn't telling me. I decided not to push, trusting her words, though the doubt lingered. As the festival approached, Emily's schedule became even more intense. She spoke of late-night rehearsals and the team's relentless pursuit of perfection. I tried to be supportive, but the distance between us grew. One evening, I noticed Emily secretly texting someone. When I asked her about it, she brushed it off, saying it was just festival planning. Still, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was amiss. The day of the festival finally arrived. Emily looked stunning in her costume, radiating confidence and excitement. I felt a mix of pride and apprehension as I watched her prepare. Just before their performance, I saw Jake embrace her, a gesture that felt too personal. Jealousy and suspicion gnawed at me, but I tried to focus on her upcoming performance. Emily and her team performed spectacularly. The crowd erupted in applause, and I saw her beaming with happiness. Yet, my joy was overshadowed by the gnawing doubt in my mind. After the performance, Emily and her team went to a party to celebrate. I wanted to join her, but she insisted it was for participants only. She returned home early in the morning, elated but exhausted. That's when I noticed faint marks on her neck, like the remnants of kisses. My heart sank as the realization hit me. My worst fears might be true. Days later, I confronted Emily. I laid out my suspicions, and after a long, painful silence, she confessed. She admitted to having an affair with Jake. Tears streamed down her face as she apologized, but the wound was already inflicted. I met with Jake, seeking some sort of closure. He admitted that they had feelings for each other, but claimed it ended after the festival. He apologized, but it did nothing to ease my pain. Nights were spent in turmoil, pondering what to do next. Emily pleaded for a second chance, but trust is a fragile thing. Once broken, hard to rebuild. Despite the betrayal, I loved her and decided to give our marriage another shot. We started attending couples therapy, trying to unravel where we went wrong and how to mend the pieces. It was a long and arduous journey, but eventually, Emily and I found a way through the darkness. The Dance Flash Mob Festival taught us a hard lesson about trust and communication in a relationship. Slowly, we began to rebuild, hoping that this new chapter would be stronger than the last. The days following Emily's confession were a blur of emotions. Anger, sadness, and confusion tangled within me, creating a knot I couldn't seem to untie. I found myself replaying moments in my head, searching for signs I might have missed, trying to understand how we had come to this point. Emily and I began our journey through couples therapy. Our first session was awkward, filled with tense silence and unspoken words. Our therapist, Dr. Harper, was a kind woman in her 50s with a calming presence. She encouraged us to speak openly and share our feelings without fear of judgment. At first, it was difficult. I was guarded, my heart still aching from the betrayal. Emily, on the other hand, seemed genuinely remorseful. Her eyes often filled with tears as she recounted the events that led to her affair with Jake. She admitted feeling neglected, craving attention and validation that she didn't find at home. As painful as it was to hear, I realized that I had a role in the unraveling of our marriage. My focus on work, my absence, both physically and emotionally, had created a void that Jake had filled. It didn't justify her actions, but it helped me understand the circumstances that led to them. Our therapy sessions became a space for us to explore these feelings. Emily and I started to communicate more, breaking down the walls we had built around ourselves. We talked about our fears, our hopes, and the future we wanted to build together. Outside of therapy, life continued, but it was different. Emily and I made a conscious effort to reconnect. We scheduled date nights, took long walks, and even revisited places that held special memories for us. Slowly, the tension began to ease, replaced by a fragile sense of hope. One evening, as we sat on the porch watching the sunset, Emily turned to me. "I know it will take time, but I want you to know that I am committed to us. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to rebuild your trust." I looked into her eyes, seeing the sincerity there. "I want that too, Emily. I want to move past this, to build something stronger. But it's going to take time." She nodded, understanding. "I know, and I'm here for it." As we navigated through this challenging time, Emily also had to distance herself from the dance community. She realized that being around Jake and the memories of their affair would hinder our healing process. It was a tough decision for her, but she was determined to prioritize our marriage. Weeks turned into months, and we gradually found a new rhythm. Trust was a delicate thread, slowly weaving itself back into the fabric of our relationship. There were still moments of doubt, but they were fewer and farther between. One night, as we lay in bed, Emily took my hand. "Can we talk about what happened in detail? I think it might help us understand and move forward." I hesitated, but then agreed. Over the next few hours, she told me everything. How it started with innocent conversations, how she felt drawn to Jake's charisma, and how it eventually spiraled into something more. She didn't hold back, and though it was painful, it was also a relief to have everything out in the open. By the end of the conversation, I felt a strange sense of clarity. The truth, though hard to hear, was a step towards healing. Emily's honesty and willingness to confront her mistakes gave me hope. Dr. Harper had once told us that rebuilding trust was like tending to a garden. It required patience, effort, and constant care. As we moved forward, Emily and I embraced this metaphor, nurturing our relationship day by day. The Dance Flash Mob Festival had been a turning point, a harsh reminder of the fragility of trust. But it also catalyzed change, pushing us to reevaluate our priorities and commit to each other more deeply. As we stood together hand in hand, I felt a renewed sense of hope. We had a long road ahead, but for the first time in a long while, I believed we could make it. Together, we could turn this painful chapter into the foundation of something stronger and more resilient. Months had passed since Emily's confession, and we had made significant progress in rebuilding our relationship. Therapy sessions with Dr. Harper continued to be a cornerstone of our healing process. Emily and I had worked hard to reconnect, and for the first time in a long while, I felt a sense of hope and stability. One evening, as I was driving home from work, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Curiosity got the better of me, and I pulled over to read it. The message was from Jake. "Hi, this is Jake. I know this might be unwelcome, but I think we need to talk. There are things you should know. Can we meet?" A surge of anger and anxiety coursed through me. Jake was the last person I wanted to see or hear from, but something in his message made me pause. There were more to the story I needed to know. After a moment of contemplation, I replied, agreeing to meet him the next day. We met at a small cafe on the outskirts of town. I arrived early, my mind racing with questions and scenarios. When Jake walked in, I was struck by how ordinary he looked. It was hard to reconcile this unassuming man with the person who had disrupted my life so profoundly. "Thanks for agreeing to meet," Jake said, sitting down opposite me. "I know this is awkward, but I felt it was necessary." I nodded, waiting for him to continue. "First, I want to apologize again for what happened. I never intended to cause so much pain. What Emily and I did was wrong, and I deeply regret it." "Why did you want to meet?" I asked, cutting to the chase. "What more is there to say?" Jake took a deep breath. "I wanted to give you context. Emily and I connected because we were both going through rough times. It doesn't excuse what happened, but it might help you understand." He went on to explain that his marriage had been falling apart, and he found solace in the friendship that developed between him and Emily. What started as a mutual support system gradually turned into something more. They were both vulnerable and made poor choices. Listening to Jake, I felt a mix of emotions: anger, empathy, and a strange sense of closure. It didn't make what happened right, but understanding the context helped me process my feelings. "I'm committed to my marriage," Jake said. "I've been working hard to rebuild it, just as you and Emily are. I wanted you to know that it's over between us, and it will never happen again." I looked at him, searching for any sign of deceit. But all I saw was a man who had made a mistake and was trying to make amends. "Thank you for telling me," I finally said. "I appreciate the honesty." We sat in silence for a few moments before I stood up to leave. "Good luck, Jake. I hope you find what you're looking for." "You too," he replied. "I truly wish you and Emily the best." As I walked out of the cafe, I felt a strange sense of relief. The encounter with Jake had given me a sense of closure I didn't know I needed. It reaffirmed my commitment to moving forward and focusing on the future with Emily. When I got home, Emily was waiting for me. I told her about the meeting with Jake, and she listened intently. She was visibly relieved when I recounted Jake's reassurances. "I'm glad you talked to him," she said. "I think it's important for both of us to have closure." "Yeah," I agreed. "It helped. But the real work is between us now." We continued to attend therapy and work on our relationship. Emily had found a new dance group to join, one that didn't include any reminders of Jake. I supported her passion, knowing it was an integral part of who she was. As the weeks turned into months, our bond grew stronger. We learned to communicate better, to be more present for each other, and to address issues before they became insurmountable. One evening, as we sat together on the porch, Emily turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "You know, the festival may have been the worst thing that happened to us, but it also led to something beautiful. It forced us to confront our problems and brought us closer." I nodded, squeezing her hand. "Yeah, it did, and I'm grateful for that. Our journey was far from over, but we were on the right path. The encounter with Jake had been a crucial step in our healing process, providing the closure needed to fully commit to our future together." As we sat there watching the sunset, I felt a renewed sense of hope and determination to make our marriage stronger than ever. As Emily and I continued our journey of healing, our lives slowly found a new rhythm. The wounds of the past were still there, but they were beginning to scar over, transforming from raw pain into lessons learned. Our therapy sessions with Dr. Harper became less frequent, not because we were done healing, but because we were learning to navigate our relationship on our own. Emily threw herself into her new dance group. The passion in her eyes when she talked about their routines, the new friends she made, and their upcoming performances was infectious. I made it a point to be more involved, attending rehearsals and shows whenever I could. It was a way for us to stay connected and for me to show her that I was committed to being present in her life. One Saturday afternoon, Emily invited me to join her for a dance workshop her group was hosting. "You should come," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. It'll be fun, and it's a great way for us to spend time together. I hesitated at first. Dancing had never been my thing, but seeing her enthusiasm, I couldn't resist. All right, I agreed, smiling. I'll give it a shot. The workshop was a whirlwind of music and movement. I felt out of place at first, but Emily's encouragement and the supportive atmosphere helped me loosen up. By the end of the session, I was laughing and moving to the rhythm, feeling a sense of freedom I hadn't experienced in a long time. You did great, Emily said, beaming at me. I'm proud of you. Thanks, I replied, catching my breath. I had a lot of fun. Maybe I'll even come to the next one. We spent the evening reminiscing about the day, and I realized how much these shared experiences were strengthening our bond. We were finding new ways to connect, and it felt like we were building a solid foundation for the future. One night, as we lay in bed, Emily brought up the idea of a weekend getaway. We've been working so hard on our relationship, she said. I think it's time for a break, just the two of us. What do you think? The idea of escaping our routine and spending quality time together sounded perfect. That sounds amazing, I agreed. Where do you want to go? After some deliberation, we settled on a cozy cabin in the mountains, away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. It was a place where we could relax, reconnect, and focus solely on each other. The weekend arrived, and as we drove up the winding mountain roads, a sense of anticipation filled the air. The cabin was nestled in a secluded area, surrounded by towering trees and the soothing sounds of nature. It was the perfect retreat. We spent our days hiking, exploring the nearby trails, and our evenings curled up by the fireplace, talking about everything and nothing. The simplicity of it all was refreshing, a reminder of the beauty in life's small moments. One evening, as we watched the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink, Emily turned to me. Thank you for giving us this chance, she said softly. I know it hasn't been easy, but I'm so grateful for your love and patience. I took her hand, feeling a wave of emotion wash over me. I love you, Emily. We've been through a lot, but it's made us stronger. I'm committed to us now and always. She smiled, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. I love you too. As the sun dipped below the horizon, we sat in comfortable silence, holding each other close. The journey ahead was still uncertain, but we had found a new rhythm, a new way of being together that gave me hope for our future. Our weekend getaway was a turning point, a moment of reaffirmation in our relationship. It was a reminder that despite the challenges and the pain, love was a powerful force that could heal and transform. Returning home, we felt more connected and more determined to continue building the life we envisioned together. Emily's involvement in her dance group flourished, and I found joy in being a part of it, even if just as a supportive partner. We discovered new hobbies together, took up cooking classes, and even planned future trips. Life wasn't perfect, but it was real, and it was ours. The scars of the past will always be a part of our story, but they no longer define us. Instead, they served as reminders of our resilience and our commitment to each other. As we moved forward hand in hand, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. We were writing a new chapter in our lives, one filled with love, trust, and a shared determination to make our marriage stronger than ever. The Dance Flash Mob Festival had been a catalyst for change, but it was our ongoing effort and dedication that truly defined our path forward. As Emily and I settled into our new rhythm, the echoes of the past slowly faded, replaced by a sense of peace and optimism. We have come a long way, but life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges when you least expect them. One evening, as we were enjoying a quiet dinner at home, Emily's phone buzzed with a notification. She glanced at it briefly and then set it aside, but I noticed a flicker of discomfort cross her face. My curiosity was piqued, but I decided not to press her about it immediately. A few days later, while I was sorting through some paperwork in our home office, I stumbled upon an unfamiliar envelope. It was addressed to Emily, but it had been opened and tucked away in a drawer. Against my better judgment, I opened it. Inside was a letter from Jake. My heart sank as I read his words. He apologized once again for the affair, but there was more. He mentioned a recent encounter with Emily, something she hadn't told me about. They had met up to discuss unfinished business, he wrote, assuring her that their past relationship was truly over. My hands trembled as I processed this new information. When Emily returned home that evening, I confronted her with the letter. "What is this?" I demanded, trying to keep my voice steady. "Why didn't you tell me you met with Jake again?" Emily's face paled, and she looked genuinely shocked. "I didn't think it was important," she stammered. "It was just a brief meeting to clear the air, to make sure everything between us was settled. I didn't want to upset you." "Not important," I repeated, my voice rising. "Emily, we promised no more secrets. How am I supposed to trust you if you keep things like this from me?" Tears welled up in her eyes. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I thought I was protecting you, protecting us. It was a mistake." I took a deep breath, trying to calm the storm of emotions swirling inside me. "We need to talk about this. All of it. No more hiding." Over the next few hours, we had one of the most difficult conversations of our marriage. Emily explained that Jake had reached out to her a few weeks ago, asking to meet. She had agreed, thinking it was a way to finally put the past behind them. The meeting had been brief and uneventful, but she realized now that hiding it was a mistake. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said softly. "I thought it was better to just move on without bringing it up." I looked into her eyes, seeing the pain and regret there. "Emily, we've come so far we can't afford to go back to keeping secrets. If we're going to make this work, we need to be completely honest with each other, no matter how difficult it is." She nodded, wiping away her tears. "You're right. I promise no more secrets. From now on, complete honesty." That night, lying in bed, I couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. It was different from the affair, but it still hurt. Trust was such a fragile thing, and rebuilding it felt like an endless task. But as I held Emily close, I reminded myself of how far we had come and how much we had overcome together. The next morning, I suggested we return to therapy for a few more sessions. Emily agreed, understanding that we needed additional support to navigate this new challenge. Dr. Harper welcomed us back, and we delved into the complexities of trust and communication once more. In therapy, we explored why Emily had felt the need to keep the meeting with Jake a secret. Dr. Harper helped us understand that while Emily's intentions were not malicious, the action had undermined the trust we were working so hard to rebuild. We discussed strategies for better communication and ways to ensure that both of us felt safe and secure in sharing everything with each other. As we worked through these issues, I began to see the strength in our commitment. Emily's willingness to confront her mistakes and my determination to understand and forgive showed me that our love was resilient. We weren't perfect, but we were learning and growing together. One evening, after a particularly insightful therapy session, Emily and I decided to revisit the place where we had first met. It was a small, charming cafe downtown, a spot that held many happy memories for us. As we sat there reminiscing about our early days, I felt a renewed sense of connection. "Do you remember our first date here?" Emily asked, smiling. "Of course," I replied, taking her hand. "You were so nervous you almost spilled your coffee." She laughed, the sound filling me with warmth. "And you were so charming you made me forget all about my nerves." We spent the evening reliving those memories, reminding ourselves of the love that had brought us together. It was a poignant reminder of why we were fighting so hard to stay together. As we walked home, I realized that despite the setbacks and challenges, we were stronger than ever. We had faced our demons, confronted our fears, and come out the other side with a deeper understanding of each other. The encounter with Jake and the secrets unveiled had been another test, but it had also been an opportunity for growth. It reinforced the importance of honesty and communication in our relationship. As we continued to move forward, I felt a renewed sense of hope and determination to build a future grounded in trust and love. Our journey was far from over, but with each step, we were learning to navigate the complexities of marriage together. And in that, I found comfort and strength. The months following our renewed commitment to complete honesty brought Emily and me closer than ever before. We continued to attend therapy, delving deeper into our relationship and uncovering layers of understanding that had previously eluded us. The process was not without its challenges, but it was undeniably transformative. One bright Saturday morning, Emily and I were enjoying a leisurely breakfast on our porch. The sun was shining, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. It was one of those rare, perfect days that seemed to promise nothing but happiness. Emily put down her coffee cup and looked at me with a thoughtful expression. "I've been thinking," she began, "about how dance has always been such a big part of my life and how much it means to me. I want to share that with you in a new way." I raised an eyebrow, curious. "What do you have in mind?" She smiled, a hint of excitement in her eyes. "What if we took dance classes together? Something we can both enjoy and use as a way to stay connected." The idea intrigued me. Our previous experience at the dance workshop had been surprisingly fun, and I liked the thought of having another shared activity. "I'd like that," I said, returning her smile. "Let's do it." We signed up for a couples dance class at a local studio. The class was a mix of different dance styles, from ballroom to salsa, designed to be fun and engaging for beginners. As we stepped onto the dance floor for our first lesson, I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Our instructor, Maria, was a vibrant and enthusiastic woman who made everyone feel at ease. She started with the basics, guiding us through simple steps and movements. Emily, of course, picked up the routines quickly, her natural grace and experience shining through. I, on the other hand, had to work a bit harder to find my rhythm. "Remember, dancing is about connection," Maria said, as she demonstrated a move. "It's about feeling the music and moving together as one." Those words resonated with me. As Emily and I danced, I focused on the connection between us, the way our movements intertwined and complemented each other. It was a beautiful metaphor for our relationship, and I found myself enjoying the process more than I had anticipated. Weeks turned into months, and our dance lessons became a cherished part of our routine. We laughed at our missteps, celebrated our progress, and found joy in the simple act of moving together. The dance floor became a space where we could express ourselves freely, without the weight of our past hanging over us. One evening, after a particularly exhilarating class, Emily and I decided to take a walk along the river. The city lights reflected off the water, creating a magical ambiance. As we strolled hand in hand, Emily suddenly stopped and turned to me. "I've been thinking about something else," she said, her voice soft, "about how much we've grown and how far we've come. I want to celebrate that." I looked at her, intrigued. "What are you having in mind?" She smiled, a glint of excitement in her eyes. "I want us to renew our vows. A small ceremony, just for us and our closest friends and family. A way to reaffirm our commitment to each other and the new chapter we're building." The idea filled me with a warmth and hope that I hadn't felt in a long time. "I love that," I said, pulling her into an embrace. "Let's do it." We spent the next few months planning our vow renewal ceremony. It was a labor of love, involving our friends and family in the preparations. Emily found a beautiful dress, simple yet elegant, and we chose a picturesque spot by the river for the ceremony. The day of the vow renewal arrived, and as I stood there waiting for Emily, I felt a surge of emotion. Our journey had been anything but easy, filled with challenges and heartache. But it had also been a journey of growth, healing, and profound love. When Emily appeared, walking towards me with a radiant smile, I was overwhelmed by the depth of my feelings for her. She was my partner, my confidante, my love. And as we stood there surrounded by those who mattered most to us, we exchanged our vows once more. "I promise to love you, to honor you, and to cherish every moment we have together," I said, my voice steady with conviction. Through the good times and the bad, I will stand by you, always. Emily's eyes glistened with tears as she spoke her vows. I promise to love you, to be honest and open with you, and to always support you. Together we will build a life filled with love, trust, and joy. As we exchanged rings, a sense of renewal and hope washed over me. This ceremony was more than just a symbol. It was a testament to our resilience and our unwavering commitment to each other. The celebration that followed was filled with laughter, dancing, and heartfelt toasts. Our friends and family embraced us, sharing in our joy and offering their blessings. It was a night to remember, a perfect culmination of our journey of healing and renewal. As Emily and I danced together under the stars, I realized how far we had come. The Dance Flash Mob Festival, the affair, the secrets, and the pain. They were all part of our story, but they did not define us. We had chosen to rise above them, find strength in our love, and build a future grounded in trust and mutual respect. Our dance of renewal was ongoing, a beautiful, intricate pattern of steps that we would continue to navigate together. And in that dance, I found a profound sense of peace and a renewed belief in the power of love to heal and transform. Our vow renewal ceremony had been a beautiful testament to our love and commitment, and in the weeks that followed, Emily and I found ourselves more connected than ever. We continued our dance classes, cherishing the time we spent together both on and off the dance floor. Life seemed to be falling into a pleasant rhythm, but as it often does, life had a way of throwing unexpected curveballs. One crisp autumn morning, Emily and I were enjoying a leisurely breakfast. Sunlight streamed through the kitchen window, casting a warm glow over the table. We talked about our plans for the day, laughing and savoring the simplicity of the moment. But I noticed that Emily seemed a bit distracted, her thoughts elsewhere. "Is everything okay?" I asked, reaching across the table to take her hand. She looked up at me, her expression a mixture of excitement and nervousness. "There's something I need to tell you," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "Something important." My heart skipped a beat. "What is it?" Emily took a deep breath. "I'm pregnant." For a moment, I was speechless. A flood of emotions washed over me: joy, surprise, fear, and overwhelming love. "Pregnant?" I finally managed to say, a smile spreading across my face. "We're going to have a baby?" Emily nodded, tears glistening in her eyes. "Yes. I found out a few days ago and I wanted to be sure before I told you. I know it's a lot to take in, especially after everything we've been through, but I couldn't be happier." I stood up and pulled her into my arms, holding her close. "This is incredible news, Emily. I'm so happy. I love you so much." We spent the rest of the day talking about our future, our hopes and dreams for our child, and the kind of parents we wanted to be. It was a new beginning, a fresh chapter in our story filled with possibilities and promise. As the weeks went by, we prepared for the arrival of our baby. We transformed the spare bedroom into a nursery, painted the walls a soothing shade of pale yellow, and filled the room with baby furniture and soft, cuddly toys. Our friends and family showered us with love and support, sharing in our excitement. One evening, as we sat together in the nursery, Emily resting her head on my shoulder, I felt a profound sense of contentment. "Can you believe it?" I said softly. "In a few months, we'll be holding our baby in our arms." Emily smiled, her hand resting on her growing belly. "I know. It's amazing. I can't wait to meet our little one." The pregnancy brought us even closer together. We attended prenatal classes, read parenting books, and spent countless hours talking about our hopes and fears. Emily's dance group threw her a surprise baby shower, celebrating this new chapter in our lives with joy and laughter. However, amid the happiness, there were moments of doubt and anxiety. The memories of the past occasionally resurfaced, reminding us of the challenges we had faced. But each time we faced those fears together, reassuring each other of our commitment and love. One night, as we lay in bed, Emily turned to me with a serious expression. Do you ever worry about the future?" she asked. "About whether we can keep this happiness after everything we've been through?" I took her hand, squeezing it gently. "Sometimes," I admitted, "but I also believe that we've grown stronger because of what we've been through. We've learned so much about each other and ourselves. And I know that as long as we continue to communicate and support each other, we can face anything that comes our way." Emily nodded, her eyes softening. "You're right. We've come so far, and I'm grateful for every moment. I love you, and I believe in us." "I love you too," I said, kissing her forehead. "And I'm excited for this new adventure. We're going to be great parents." As the due date approached, our anticipation grew. We spent our evenings imagining what our baby would look like, what kind of personality they would have, and how our lives would change. It was a time of dreams and hopes, filled with the promise of a bright future. One crisp winter morning, Emily woke me up with a gentle shake. "It's time," she said, her voice calm but tinged with excitement. We hurried to the hospital, our hearts racing with a mix of excitement and nervousness. The hours that followed were a blur of emotions, but when our baby finally arrived, it was the most beautiful moment of my life. Holding our child in my arms, I felt a love so profound and unconditional that it took my breath away. Emily and I looked at each other, tears of joy streaming down our faces. "We did it," I whispered. "We're parents." Our journey had brought us to this moment, a culmination of love, resilience, and unwavering commitment. As I gazed at our newborn, I knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, we would face them together as a family. The arrival of our baby marked a new beginning, a new dance of life. And as we embarked on this incredible journey, I felt a profound sense of gratitude for the love that had brought us here, stronger and more united than ever before. The first few weeks with our newborn were a whirlwind of sleepless nights, diaper changes, and moments of pure bliss. Emily and I were learning the steps to a new dance, the dance of parenthood. Our home was filled with the sounds of baby coos, cries, and laughter, and each day brought a discovery. Our baby, whom we named Lily, was the center of our world. Her tiny hands and curious eyes captivated us, and every milestone she reached filled us with pride. Emily and I took turns caring for her, finding a balance that allowed us both to bond with our daughter and support each other through the challenges of new parenthood. One evening, as I was rocking Lily to sleep, Emily came into the nursery with a thoughtful expression on her face. "I've been thinking," she said softly, sitting down beside me, "about how much our lives have changed since Lily was born. It's been wonderful, but I feel like we need to make sure we're also taking care of our relationship." I nodded, understanding her concern. "You're right. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of taking care of Lily and forget about nurturing our bond. What do you suggest?" Emily smiled. "I was thinking we could set aside one evening a week just for us. A date night where we can reconnect and spend quality time together." "I love that idea," I said, feeling a sense of relief. "Let's make it a priority." We started our weekly date nights, sometimes going out for dinner, other times staying in and watching a movie or playing board games. It was a way for us to remind ourselves of the love that had brought us together and to keep our connection strong. As the months went by, Lily continued to grow and develop, bringing endless joy and laughter into our lives. Her first smile, her first words, and her first steps were moments we cherished and celebrated. Each milestone was a testament to the love and resilience that had carried us through the challenges of the past. One sunny afternoon, we took Lily to the park. As we watched her toddle around, giggling and exploring her surroundings, Emily turned to me with a contented smile. "Look at her," she said. "She's so full of life and curiosity. It's amazing to see the world through her eyes." I nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. She's our little miracle. I can't imagine life without her. Our family continued to thrive, but there were moments of doubt and exhaustion. Balancing work, parenthood, and our relationship was not always easy. There were times when we felt overwhelmed and unsure, but we faced those challenges together, leaning on each other for support. One evening after putting Lily to bed, Emily and I sat on the porch, enjoying the quiet of the night. "Do you ever think about the journey we've been on?" she asked, her voice reflective. "About how far we've come since the Dance Flash Mob Festival?" "Every day," I replied. "It's been a journey of ups and downs, but I wouldn't change a thing. It's made us stronger and brought us closer. And now we have Lily, this incredible gift that we created together." Emily smiled, her eyes filled with love. "I feel the same way. I'm so grateful for everything we've been through because it's led us to this moment. We've built a beautiful life together." As the stars twinkled above us, I realized how much we had grown, not just as individuals, but as a family. Our journey taught us the importance of communication, trust, and unconditional love. We had faced our fears and insecurities, and in doing so had created a foundation of strength and resilience. One afternoon, Emily received a call from her old dance group. They were planning a reunion and wanted her to join them for a special performance. She was excited but hesitant. "What do you think?" she asked me. "Should I do it?" I saw the spark of excitement in her eyes, the same spark that had drawn me to her in the first place. "I think you should," I said. "Dance is a part of you, and it's important to honor that. Lily and I will be there to cheer you on." The reunion performance was a resounding success. Watching Emily on stage, her movements fluid and graceful, I was filled with pride and admiration. It was a reminder of the passion that had always driven her, and the strength that had carried us through our darkest moments. After the performance, we celebrated with her old dance friends, sharing stories and laughter. It was a night of joy and reconnection, a celebration of the journey we had all been on. As we drove home, Lily was asleep in her car seat. Emily reached over and took my hand. "Thank you for supporting me," she said, "for believing in me and us." "I always will," I replied, squeezing her hand. "We're in this together no matter what." Our dance of parenthood was an ongoing journey, filled with both challenges and rewards. Each step we took brought us closer, and every moment with Lily was a reminder of the love and commitment that had brought us to this point. As we tucked Lily into bed that night, I felt a profound sense of contentment. Our family was a testament to the power of love, resilience, and the willingness to face life's challenges together. The dance of life continued, and we were ready to embrace every step, hand in hand. The joys of parenthood continued to fill our lives, but as with any journey, new challenges emerged. Emily and I were navigating the delicate balance of work, parenthood, and maintaining our relationship. There were days when exhaustion and stress threatened to overwhelm us, but we faced these obstacles together, determined to keep our family strong. One crisp autumn morning, as we were preparing breakfast, Emily received an urgent call from her boss. Her company was going through a major restructuring, and they needed her to take on a more demanding role. The promotion came with a significant increase in responsibilities and travel. "I don't know what to do," Emily confided in me later that evening. "This is a great opportunity for my career, but it means being away from you and Lily more often." I understood her dilemma. Emily had worked hard to advance in her career, and this promotion was a testament to her dedication and talent. But it also posed a significant challenge to our family dynamic. "We'll find a way to make it work," I assured her. "We've faced bigger challenges before. We can handle this." With Emily's new role, our routine changed dramatically. She traveled frequently, and I took on more responsibilities at home. We enlisted the help of family and friends to manage Lily's care, ensuring she always had a supportive environment. Despite the physical distance, Emily and I made a concerted effort to stay connected. We scheduled regular video calls, sent each other messages throughout the day, and made sure to have meaningful conversations whenever she was home. It wasn't easy, but our commitment to each other and our family kept us going. One evening, after putting Lily to bed, I received a call from Emily. She sounded exhausted but determined. I miss you both so much, she said, her voice cracking. This is harder than I expected. I know, I replied, trying to keep my own emotions in check. But we're doing this together, and we're proud of you. Just take it one day at a time. Emily's visits home became cherished moments. We made the most of our time together, going on family outings, playing with Lily, and simply enjoying each other's company. The distance made our reunions all the more special, reminding us of the strength of our bond. One weekend, during one of Emily's trips home, we decided to take Lily to a nearby apple orchard. It was a perfect autumn day, the air crisp and the trees laden with ripe apples. We wandered through the orchard, picking apples, enjoying the simple pleasure of being together. As we sat under a large oak tree watching Lily toddle around, Emily leaned against me. I needed this, she said softly. Being away is tough, but moments like these make it all worth it. I wrapped my arm around her, feeling a deep sense of contentment. We're a team, I said. No matter where you are, we're always connected. Emily's new role eventually became more manageable as she adjusted to the demands. We found a new rhythm, one that allowed us to balance her career and our family life. It wasn't always smooth, but our love and determination saw us through. As the years passed, Lily grew into a bright and curious child. She loved hearing stories about our adventures and the challenges we had faced. One evening, as we were tucking her into bed, she asked, "Will you tell me the story about the dance flash mob festival again?" Emily and I exchanged a smile. It was a story we had shared with her many times, a tale of love, resilience, and the power of forgiveness. Of course, sweetheart, Emily said, sitting down beside her. It's a story about how much Mommy and Daddy love each other and how we always find a way to be together, no matter what. As Emily began recounting the story, I felt a profound sense of gratitude. Our journey had been filled with trials and triumphs, but through it all, we had remained committed to each other and our family. The challenges we faced only strengthened our bond, making us more resilient and more in love than ever. One evening, after Lily had fallen asleep, Emily and I sat on the porch, reflecting on our journey. The stars twinkled above us, casting a gentle glow over our home. We've come so far, Emily said, her voice filled with wonder. I'm so proud of us. I took her hand, feeling the warmth of her love. We've faced every challenge head on, and we've come out stronger each time. I'm proud of us too, and I'm excited for whatever the future holds. Our life continued to unfold, filled with new experiences and challenges. But through it all, we held on to the lessons we had learned, the importance of communication, trust, and unwavering support for each other. Our dance of life was a beautiful, ever-evolving journey, and we were ready to embrace every step together. As we sat there, hand in hand, I knew that no matter what came our way, we would face it with the same love and resilience that had brought us this far. Our story was one of triumph over adversity, a testament to the power of love and the strength of family. And in that moment, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace and joy, knowing that we were exactly where we were meant to be. Years had passed since the whirlwind events that had tested and strengthened our relationship. Our family had settled into a comfortable routine, and Lily was now a bright, energetic 5-year-old. Life felt stable, but as always, the universe had a way of introducing unexpected opportunities and challenges. One Friday evening, as Emily and I were relaxing after putting Lily to bed, she turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "I got an interesting call today," she said, her voice tinged with excitement. "Oh? What about?" I asked, intrigued. "It was from a dance academy in New York," she replied. "They're looking for a new director for their contemporary dance program. They heard about my work and want me to apply for the position." My mind raced. A move to New York would be a massive change, uprooting our lives and starting fresh in a bustling city. "That's a big opportunity," I said carefully. "How do you feel about it?" Emily took a deep breath. I'm excited but also scared. It's a dream job, but it would mean leaving everything we know behind. I wanted to talk to you about it before making any decisions. I appreciated her thoughtfulness. It's a huge decision, but if it's something you want, we should consider it. We've faced big changes before and come out stronger. Maybe this is our next adventure. Over the next few weeks, we discussed the potential move from every angle. We talked about the logistics, the impact on Lily, and the new opportunities that awaited us in New York. Emily applied for the position, and after a rigorous interview process, she was offered the job. The day Emily received the official offer, we sat down with Lily to explain the potential move. Sweetheart, Mommy got a wonderful job offer in New York. It's a big city far from here. How would you feel about moving there? I asked gently. Lily's eyes widened with curiosity. New York? Like in the movies? Emily smiled. Yes, like in the movies. There would be new places to explore, new friends to make, and lots of exciting things to see and do. Lily thought for a moment, then nodded enthusiastically. Okay, let's go to New York. Her innocent excitement helped ease some of our apprehensions. With our family's unanimous decision, we began the process of preparing for the move. There were goodbyes to be said, logistics to manage, and a mixture of emotions as we packed up our lives. As we drove to New York, a sense of anticipation filled the car. The city skyline came into view, its towering buildings and bustling streets a stark contrast to the quiet suburb we were leaving behind. Our new apartment was a cozy space in a vibrant neighborhood, and we quickly set about making it our own. Emily's first day at the dance academy was a mixture of excitement and nerves. As she stepped into her new role, she was met with enthusiasm and support from her colleagues. The academy was a hub of creativity and energy, and Emily thrived in this environment. Her passion for dance shone through in every class she taught and every performance she directed. Meanwhile, I adjusted to my new role as the primary caregiver for Lily. I found a part-time job that allowed me to be there for her, exploring the city and enrolling her in a preschool. Lily adapted quickly, making friends and embracing the vibrant culture of New York. One evening, as Emily and I sat on the balcony of our apartment, overlooking the city lights, we reflected on our new life. It's amazing how much has changed, Emily said, leaning against me. I feel like we're finally living our dreams. I nodded, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. We've come a long way, and we've done it together. I'm so proud of you and everything you've accomplished. Emily smiled, her eyes filled with love. And I'm proud of us for taking this leap, for supporting each other, and for building this beautiful life together. As we settled into our new routine, we continued to nurture our relationship, ensuring that we made time for each other amidst the demands of work and parenthood. Our weekly date nights became a cherished tradition, a reminder of the love that had carried us through so much. On Saturday, Emily invited me to the dance academy to watch a rehearsal for an upcoming performance. As I watched her guide her students with grace and confidence, I felt an overwhelming sense of pride. She was in her element, doing what she loved and inspiring others along the way. After the rehearsal, Emily introduced me to her students, who greeted me with enthusiasm and curiosity. "This is my husband, my biggest supporter," she said with a smile. I shook hands with the students, feeling a sense of belonging in this new chapter of our lives. It's wonderful to see Emily doing what she loves. You're all incredibly talented. As we left the academy that evening, Emily took my hand. "Thank you for being my rock, for supporting my dreams. I couldn't have done this without you." I squeezed her hand, feeling a surge of emotion. "We're a team, Emily." Always. Our new life in New York was filled with challenges and rewards, but through it all, we remained steadfast in our commitment to each other. The city offered endless opportunities for growth and exploration, and we embraced every moment. One evening, as we walked through Central Park, Lily skipping ahead of us, Emily turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "I've been thinking about starting a community dance program," she said. "Something for kids and families to bring people together through dance." I smiled, loving her endless creativity and drive. "That sounds amazing. Let's make it happen." As we walked hand in hand, I realized how far we had come and how much we had achieved together. Our journey was a testament to the power of love, resilience, and the willingness to embrace new opportunities. Life in New York was a new dance, a beautiful, intricate pattern of steps that we navigated together. In each step, I found a profound sense of joy and fulfillment, knowing that no matter where life took us, we would always face it together, united by love and a shared dream. Our lives in New York had settled into a happy rhythm. Emily's community dance program took off, quickly becoming a beloved fixture in our neighborhood. Lily was thriving at her preschool, making friends and exploring her interests. I had found a fulfilling part-time job that allowed me to balance work and family life. We were content and deeply connected, enjoying the vibrant energy of our new home. One sunny afternoon, as Emily and I were setting up for a community dance event in Central Park, I noticed a familiar face in the crowd. It was Jake. My heart skipped a beat as memories of the past came flooding back. I hadn't seen him since our encounter years ago, and seeing him now, amid our new life, felt surreal. Jake caught my eye and walked over, a tentative smile on his face. "Hey," he said, extending his hand. "Long time no see." "Jake," I replied, shaking his hand. "What brings you to New York?" "I'm here for a dance conference," he explained. "I heard about Emily's community program and thought I'd come by to see it in action." Emily, who had been busy organizing the event, noticed us talking and came over. Her expression shifted from surprise to a warm smile. "Jake, it's good to see you. How have you been?" We stood there, exchanging pleasantries, and I could sense the genuine curiosity and respect between them. Despite everything that had happened, time had healed many wounds. Emily invited Jake to stay for the event, and he agreed, genuinely interested in seeing her work. As the event began, I watched Emily with admiration. She had created something truly special, a community united through dance. Jake stood beside me, equally impressed. "She's amazing," he said quietly. "You've both come so far." "Yeah," I agreed, feeling a swell of pride. "We have." The event was a success, filled with laughter, music, and a sense of community. After it ended, Jake approached us again. "Can we talk? There's something I need to say." We found a quiet spot in the park, away from the crowd. Jake took a deep breath. "I wanted to apologize again for everything. The affair, the pain it caused. I see now how much stronger you've become, and I respect that." Emily nodded, her expression kind but firm. "Thank you, Jake. We've all made mistakes, but we've also learned and grown from them." Jake turned to me. "You've been an incredible partner to Emily. I can see that. I just wanted you to know that I'm happy for both of you, and I wish you all the best." I appreciated his sincerity. "Thank you, Jake. It means a lot." As we parted ways, I felt a sense of closure. The past had been painful, but it had also shaped us into who we are today. Seeing Jake again was a reminder of how far we had come and how much we had overcome. That evening, as we walked home, Emily and I reflected on the day's events. "It was strange seeing Jake again," she admitted, "but it also felt like a full circle moment." "Yeah," I agreed. "It reminded me of how much we've grown and how strong our love is." Emily smiled, her eyes filled with warmth. "I'm grateful for everything we've been through. It's made us who we are today." As the weeks passed, life returned to its usual rhythm. Emily's community program continued to flourish, and our family settled deeper into our New York life. We made new friends, explored the city's endless offerings, and built a home filled with love and laughter. One evening, as we sat on our balcony watching the sunset, Emily turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "I've been thinking about expanding the program," she said, "taking it to other cities, reaching more people." I smiled, loving her ambition. That sounds incredible. How can I help? We'll figure it out together, she said, squeezing my hand, just like we always do. Our journey was far from over. There were new challenges to face, new dreams to pursue, and new adventures to embark on. But with each step, we grew stronger, our bond deepening with every experience. As we sat there, hand in hand, I realized that our story was one of resilience, love, and unwavering commitment. We had faced our fears, embraced new opportunities, and built a life filled with joy and fulfillment. And no matter what the future held, I knew that we would face it together, united by the dance of life that had brought us this far. The days in New York had become a tapestry of vibrant experiences and cherished routines. Our family flourished in the city's dynamic environment, and Emily's dance program continued to touch the lives of many. We had found a balance between work, family, and personal pursuits, each day bringing a renewed sense of purpose. One crisp autumn morning, as we were having breakfast, Emily received a call that would once again change the trajectory of our lives. It was from a renowned dance company in Europe. They had heard about her community dance program and were interested in collaborating with her to establish a similar initiative across various cities on the continent. Emily's eyes sparkled with excitement as she relayed the details to me. "This is an incredible opportunity," she said, her voice trembling with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "But it would mean moving to Europe for a few years." My mind raced with possibilities. Another move would be a significant upheaval, but it also promised new adventures and opportunities for growth. "How do you feel about it?" I asked, wanting to understand her thoughts. "I'm thrilled but also nervous," she admitted. "It's a huge change, and I don't want to disrupt our lives again. But this could be a chance to expand the program on a global scale." I took her hand, feeling the familiar surge of support and love. "We've always faced challenges together, and we've come out stronger each time. If this is something you're passionate about, we'll make it work." Over the next few weeks, we discussed the move extensively, considering every aspect of our lives. We talked to Lily about the possibility of living in Europe, and her eyes lit up with excitement at the thought of new adventures. "I want to go," she exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. With our family's unanimous support, Emily accepted the offer. We began the process of preparing for another international move, navigating the logistics with a mix of excitement and nostalgia for our life in New York. The dance community threw us a heartfelt farewell party, celebrating Emily's achievements and our contributions to the neighborhood. As the day of our departure approached, we took a moment to reflect on our journey. Standing in Central Park, the place where so many memories had been made, we felt a deep sense of gratitude for everything we had experienced. "We've built something beautiful here," Emily said, her voice filled with emotion. "But I'm excited for this new chapter." "Me too," I agreed, pulling her into an embrace. "And no matter where we go, we'll always carry these memories with us." Our new home in Europe was a charming apartment in a picturesque city. The cobblestone streets, historic architecture, and vibrant culture immediately captured our hearts. Lily adapted quickly, making new friends and embracing the new environment with her usual curiosity and enthusiasm. Emily's work with the dance company was both challenging and rewarding. She traveled frequently, working with communities across various cities to establish the new dance initiative. I continued to balance my part-time job and caring for Lily, exploring the rich cultural heritage of our new home. One evening, after a particularly long day, Emily returned home with a tired but satisfied smile. "The program is taking off," she said, her eyes shining with accomplishment. "We're making a difference. I'm so proud of you," I said, wrapping my arms around her. "You're doing amazing work." We settled into a new rhythm, finding joy in the simple pleasures of our daily lives. We explored our new city, attended local festivals, and immersed ourselves in the culture. Our family thrived in the new environment, each day bringing discoveries and experiences. As the months passed, Emily's dance program gained international recognition. Her dedication and passion created a ripple effect, inspiring communities across Europe to embrace the transformative power of dance. We traveled together to various cities, experiencing the impact of her work firsthand and celebrating the connections she had forged. One summer, we decided to take a family vacation in the countryside. We rented a small cottage near a serene lake, surrounded by rolling hills and lush greenery. It was a peaceful retreat, a chance to recharge and reconnect. One evening, as we sat by the lake, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink, Emily turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "I've been thinking about writing a book," she said, "about our journey, the challenges we've faced, and the power of dance to bring people together." I smiled, loving the idea. "I think that's a wonderful idea. Your story is inspiring, and it could help so many others." Over the next few months, Emily began working on her book. She poured her heart into the pages, recounting our experiences, the lessons we had learned, and the transformative power of love and resilience. It was a cathartic process, a chance to reflect on our journey and share our story with the world. The book, titled Dancing Through Life, was published to widespread acclaim. It resonated with readers around the world, inspiring them to embrace their challenges and find strength in their passions. Emily's story became a beacon of hope and resilience, a testament to the power of love and the human spirit. As we celebrated the success of her book, I felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Our journey had been filled with twists and turns, but through it all, we had remained united, our love growing stronger with each challenge we faced. One evening, as we sat on the balcony of our apartment, overlooking the twinkling lights of the city, Emily turned to me with a contented smile. "We've come so far," she said softly. "I'm so grateful for every moment." I took her hand, feeling the warmth of her love. "Me too. And I'm excited for whatever comes next." Our journey was an ongoing dance, a beautiful, intricate pattern of steps that we navigated together. As we embraced each new opportunity and faced each new challenge, I knew that our love and resilience would continue to guide us. With each chapter of our lives, we grew stronger, more united, and more in love. And as we looked to the future, we were filled with hope and excitement, ready to embrace whatever adventures lay ahead together. Life in Europe has brought us countless adventures and deep fulfillment. Emily's dance program continued to thrive, and Lily had blossomed into a curious and bright young girl, thriving in her new school and environment. My work had grown in ways I hadn't anticipated, as I found new opportunities and collaborations in our new home. We had settled into a comfortable, happy routine, and it felt like we were living a dream. One rainy afternoon, Emily and I were enjoying a quiet moment in our cozy apartment. Lily was at a friend's house for a play date, giving us a rare few hours to ourselves. Emily was working on the final chapters of her next book, and I was reading beside her, savoring the peace and tranquility. Suddenly, Emily's phone rang. She glanced at the caller ID and frowned slightly before answering. "Hello?" Her face paled as she listened to the person on the other end of the line. "Yes, this is Emily." "What? Oh my God, is he okay? When did this happen?" "Yes, I'll be there as soon as I can." She hung up, her hands trembling. "That was Jake's wife. He's had a serious accident and is in critical condition. She said he's been asking to see me." My heart sank. Despite the years that had passed and the closure we thought we had found, Jake's presence still lingered in our memories. "What happened?" "He was in a car accident," Emily explained, her voice shaking. "He's been in and out of consciousness, and they're not sure if he's going to make it. She said he keeps asking for me." I took a deep breath, processing the news. "Do you want to go see him?" "I feel like I should," Emily said, her eyes filling with tears. Despite everything, he was a significant part of our past. And if this is the end for him, I need to say goodbye. We arranged for Lily to stay with her friend's family for a few days, and booked a flight to the hospital where Jake was being treated. The journey was filled with a mix of emotions, fear, sadness, and a strange sense of closure. As we arrived at the hospital, Emily and I held hands, drawing strength from each other. We were directed to the intensive care unit, where Jake's wife, Laura, greeted us with a somber expression. "Thank you for coming," she said softly. "He's been asking for you, Emily. I think it would mean a lot to him if you saw him." Emily nodded, tears brimming in her eyes. "Thank you, Laura. I'm so sorry for what you're going through." Laura led us to Jake's room, and Emily took a deep breath before stepping inside. I stayed back, giving her the space she needed. Through the window, I could see Jake lying in the hospital bed, looking fragile and weak. Emily sat beside him, taking his hand gently. "Jake," she said softly. "It's Emily. I'm here." Jake's eyes fluttered open, and a faint smile crossed his lips. "Emily," he whispered. "Thank you for coming." "I'm so sorry, Jake," Emily said, her voice breaking. "For everything." Jake shook his head weakly. "No, Emily. I needed to see you, to apologize. For everything I did, I never meant to hurt you." Emily squeezed his hand, tears streaming down her face. "We've all made mistakes, Jake, but we've also learned and grown from them. You were important to me, and I'm grateful for the time we shared." Jake's eyes filled with tears. "I wish I could change the past. But knowing you're happy now gives me peace." Emily leaned in, her voice gentle and full of compassion. "Thank you, Jake. Rest now and know that you're forgiven." Jake's eyes closed, and a sense of calm seemed to wash over him. Emily stayed by his side for a while longer, offering comfort and solace. When she finally emerged from the room, her eyes were red, but her expression was one of peace. "Thank you for being here with me," she said, hugging me tightly. "It was hard, but I'm glad I came. I feel like a chapter has truly closed." We spent the next few days supporting Laura and Jake's family, offering whatever help we could. Jake's condition remained critical, and we knew that his time was limited. The experience brought back many memories, but it also reinforced the strength and resilience we had found in each other. On our last night in town, Emily and I took a walk through a nearby park. The air was cool and crisp, and the stars twinkled above us. "Life is so unpredictable," Emily said softly. "You never know what's going to happen next." I nodded, wrapping my arm around her. "That's true. But no matter what comes our way, we'll face it together." Emily smiled, resting her head on my shoulder. "We've come so far, and I'm grateful for every moment. Thank you for standing by me through everything." "Always," I said, kissing her forehead. "We're a team, now and forever." As we headed back to the hospital for one final visit, I felt a sense of closure. Jake's unexpected appearance in our lives brought back memories of the past, but it also highlighted how much we had grown and how strong our love had become. Back in Europe, life gradually returned to its usual rhythm. Emily continued to pour her heart into her dance program, and I found new projects to engage in. Lily continued to thrive, her laughter and curiosity filling our home with joy. One evening, as we sat together in our living room, Emily turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "I've been thinking," she said, "about starting a new project, something that combines dance and healing. A way to help people process their emotions and find peace, just like we have." I smiled, loving her endless creativity and compassion. "I think that's a wonderful idea. How can I help?" "We'll figure it out together," she said, taking my hand. Just like we always do. Our journey continued, filled with new opportunities and challenges. But through it all, we remained united, our love and resilience guiding us forward. The unexpected twist with Jake reminded us of the unpredictability of life, but it also reinforced the strength of our bond. As we embraced each new chapter, I knew that we would continue to face whatever came our way with courage and love. Our story was one of growth, healing, and unwavering commitment, and I was excited for whatever the future held, knowing that we would always face it together. After the emotional visit to see Jake, Emily and I returned to Europe with a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. The experience reminded us of the importance of cherishing each moment and continuing to grow both individually and as a couple. Emily's idea of starting a project that combined dance and healing began to take shape, and we both threw ourselves into this new venture with enthusiasm. Emily's dance program expanded to include workshops focused on emotional healing through movement. She collaborated with therapists and counselors to create sessions that allowed participants to express their feelings and find peace through dance. The program was a resounding success, attracting people from all walks of life who were seeking solace and transformation. Meanwhile, I found fulfillment in supporting Emily and contributing to the program's development. I took on a more active role in organizing events and managing the logistics, allowing Emily to focus on her creative and therapeutic work. Our partnership, both at home and in this new venture, grew stronger as we navigated the challenges together. One evening, as we were reviewing plans for an upcoming workshop, Emily looked at me with a thoughtful expression. "Do you ever think about going back to where it all started?" she asked. "Back to our hometown?" I paused, considering her question. "I do, sometimes. It's been so long, and so much has changed. Why do you ask?" "I've been feeling a pull to go back," she said softly, "to revisit the place where we first fell in love, where our journey began. I think it would be good for us, a way to reconnect with our roots and see how far we've come." The idea resonated with me. Our hometown held many memories, both good and bad, but it was undeniably a significant part of our story. "I think that's a wonderful idea," I said, smiling. "Let's plan a trip." We arranged for a 2-week visit to our hometown, coordinating with friends and family who were eager to see us again. Lily was excited about the trip, curious to see the place her parents often spoke about with such fondness. As we drove into town, a wave of nostalgia washed over me. The familiar streets, the old haunts, and the landmarks of our past brought back a flood of memories. We visited our old high school, the park where we had spent countless hours, and the cafe where we had shared our first date. One afternoon, Emily suggested we visit the old dance studio where she had first discovered her passion. The building had been renovated, but the essence of the place remained. We stood in the middle of the studio, holding hands and reflecting on the journey that had brought us here. "This place holds so many memories," Emily said, her voice filled with emotion. "It's where I found my love for dance and where our love story began." I squeezed her hand, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "We've come a long way since then, haven't we?" "Yes, we have," she replied, smiling, "and I'm so grateful for every step of the journey." We spent the rest of the trip reconnecting with old friends and family, sharing stories of our adventures and the lessons we had learned. It was a time of reflection and renewal, a chance to appreciate how far we had come and the strength we had found in each other. One evening, as we sat on the porch of Emily's childhood home, watching the sunset, she turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "I've been thinking about something else," she said. "About the possibility of splitting our time between here and Europe. We've built a beautiful life there, but there's something special about being home." I considered her words, feeling a sense of excitement and possibility. "That could be the best of both worlds," I said. "We can continue our work in Europe and also spend time here, reconnecting with our roots and the people who matter to us." Emily smiled, her eyes filled with love. "I think it's the perfect plan. We can create a balance that allows us to nurture both parts of our lives." As our trip came to an end, we returned to Europe with a renewed sense of purpose and a plan for the future. We began to organize our lives in a way that allowed us to spend significant time in our hometown, maintaining our connections and continuing our work on both continents. The transition wasn't without its challenges, but our commitment to each other and to our shared vision made it possible. We found a rhythm that allowed us to thrive both personally and professionally, embracing the best of both worlds. Emily's workshops continued to grow, reaching more people and making a profound impact on their lives. Our dance and healing program expanded to our hometown, creating a bridge between our two lives and strengthening our community ties. One evening, as we prepared for a joint workshop in our hometown, Emily and I took a moment to reflect on our journey. "I'm so proud of everything we've accomplished," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "And I'm grateful for the love and support we've given each other every step of the way." I pulled her into an embrace, feeling the depth of our connection. "I'm grateful too. Our journey has been incredible, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us." As we stood together, ready to embark on the next chapter of our lives, I felt a profound sense of fulfillment. Our journey had been filled with challenges, growth, and transformation, but through it all, our love had remained the constant guiding force. With each new step, we continued to dance through life together, embracing every moment and cherishing the bond that had brought us so far. As we looked to the future, we knew that no matter where life took us, we would face it together, united by love, resilience, and a shared vision of a beautiful, fulfilling life. The years that followed our decision to split our time between Europe and our hometown were some of the most fulfilling of our lives. We found a harmonious balance, nurturing our roots while continuing to expand our horizons. Emily's dance and healing program flourished on both continents, and our family grew even closer. Lily was now a vibrant teenager, her spirit as lively as ever. She had inherited Emily's love for dance and my curiosity for the world. Watching her grow and thrive brought us immense joy and pride. One sunny afternoon, as we were preparing for another transatlantic trip, Emily received a call from a prestigious university in the United States. They were interested in establishing a partnership with her dance and healing program and wanted her to lead the initiative. The opportunity was immense, promising to take her work to a global scale. Emily's eyes sparkled with excitement as she shared the news with me. "This is a dream come true," she said, her voice trembling with emotion, "but it would mean even more travel and new responsibilities." "What do you think?" I smiled, feeling the familiar mix of excitement and apprehension. "I think it's an incredible opportunity, and you should go for it. We'll figure out the logistics just like we always do." With our family's support, Emily accepted the offer. The next few months were a whirlwind of preparations as we adjusted our schedules to accommodate her new role. The university partnership brought new challenges and opportunities, pushing us to adapt and grow once again. One evening, after a particularly long day, Emily and I sat on the porch of our hometown house, enjoying the quiet of the night. "Do you ever feel like we're constantly moving, constantly changing?" she asked, her voice thoughtful. "Sometimes," I admitted, "but I also think that's what makes our life so rich and full. We've embraced every opportunity, faced every challenge, and come out stronger each time." Emily nodded, her eyes reflecting the moonlight. "You're right, and I wouldn't change a thing. I'm just grateful to have you and Lily by my side through it all." As we continued to navigate the demands of Emily's new role, we made sure to prioritize our F.A. Miley time. We planned regular vacations, exploring new places and creating lasting memories together. Each trip was an adventure, a chance to reconnect and recharge. One summer, we decided to take a trip to Japan, a place that had always fascinated us. We spent weeks immersing ourselves in the culture, visiting ancient temples, and savoring the delicious cuisine. The trip was a beautiful blend of exploration and relaxation, and it brought us even closer as a family. On the last night of our trip, as we watched the lanterns float down the river during a traditional festival, Emily turned to me with a look of contentment. "I feel like we found a perfect balance," she said softly. "We're living our dreams, but we're also staying grounded in what truly matters." I nodded, wrapping my arm around her. "We've created a life that's true to who we are, and that's something to be proud of." As the years passed, our lives continued to evolve. Lily graduated from high school and decided to pursue a degree in international relations, inspired by our family's global adventures. We supported her wholeheartedly, proud of the compassionate and curious young woman she had become. Emily's program reached new heights, impacting lives around the world. She became a sought-after speaker, sharing her insights and experiences at conferences and workshops. Her work was a testament to the transformative power of dance and healing, and it inspired countless others to embark on their journeys of growth and self-discovery. One evening, as we sat together in our European home, Emily received a call from a major publishing house. They were interested in publishing a comprehensive book about her dance and healing program, chronicling its impact and the stories of those it had touched. "This is amazing," she said, her eyes shining with excitement. "I never imagined my work would reach so many people." "You've earned it," I said, feeling a deep sense of pride. "Your dedication and passion have made a difference in so many lives." The book, titled The Dance of Healing, was published to widespread acclaim. It became a bestseller, resonating with readers around the world. Emily's story, and the stories of those who had been transformed by her program, touched hearts and inspired change. As we celebrated the success of the book, we reflected on our journey. Our lives had been a dance of love, resilience, and unwavering commitment. We faced challenges, embraced opportunities, and created a life filled with joy and fulfillment. One evening, as we stood on the balcony of our European home, watching the sunset, Emily turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "I've been thinking about the future," she said, "about what's next for us." I smiled, feeling a sense of excitement. "What do you have in mind?" "I want to continue expanding the program, reaching even more people," she said. "But I also want to make sure we have time for us, for our family. I want to keep exploring, keep growing, and keep living our dreams." I took her hand, feeling the warmth of her love. "I'm with you every step of the way. Whatever the future holds, we'll face it together." As we embraced the future, I knew that our journey was far from over. We had created a life that was true to our values and our dreams, and we were ready for whatever adventures lay ahead. The success of Emily's book, The Dance of Healing, opened doors we hadn't even imagined. Invitations poured in from around the world for Emily to speak, teach, and expand her program further. As we navigated this whirlwind, we remained grounded in the values that had always guided us: family, love, and resilience. Our family continued to thrive. Lily excelled in her studies and embraced the opportunities to travel and intern with international organizations. Her passion for making a difference in the world mirrored the values we had instilled in her. One evening, Emily and I were enjoying a quiet dinner when my phone buzzed with an email notification. It was from a renowned university in Europe offering me a position to lead a new initiative focused on global education and cultural exchange. The role was a dream come true, aligning perfectly with my passions and experiences. "Emily, you won't believe this," I said, reading the email aloud. Her eyes lit up with excitement as I shared the details. "This is incredible," she exclaimed. "You have to do it." "I want to," I said, feeling a surge of excitement. "But it will mean even more changes for us." "We've always embraced change," Emily said, taking my hand, "and we've always supported each other's dreams. This is your time." With Emily's encouragement, I accepted the position. Our lives shifted once more as we adapted to the demands of my new role. The university provided a beautiful home for us on campus, surrounded by lush gardens and a vibrant community. Emily's work continued to flourish, and she began collaborating with the university on special projects, blending her expertise in dance and healing with my focus on education and cultural exchange. Together, we created interdisciplinary programs that brought students and communities together, fostering understanding and connection through the arts. One day, Emily approached me with an idea. "I've been thinking about starting a foundation," she said, "something that will ensure the longevity of our work and create a lasting impact. A place where people can come to heal, learn, and grow." I smiled, inspired by her vision. "I think that's a wonderful idea. Let's do it." We poured our hearts into establishing the foundation, dedicating it to promoting healing, education, and cultural exchange through the arts. We named it the Harmony Foundation, symbolizing the balance and connection we had always strived for in our lives. The foundation quickly gained support, and we began organizing workshops, retreats, and community programs. Our vision expanded, and soon we were collaborating with organizations around the world, creating a global network of healing and learning centers. As our work with the foundation grew, we took time to reflect on our journey. One evening, we sat in the garden of our university home, watching the sunset. "We've come so far," Emily said softly, "and we've created something truly beautiful." I nodded, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. "We've turned our challenges into opportunities and our dreams into reality, and we've done it together." Our lives have become a testament to the power of love, resilience, and unwavering commitment. We had faced numerous challenges, embraced countless opportunities, and created a legacy that would continue to inspire and transform lives long after we were gone. One summer, we organized a special retreat at the Harmony Foundation, inviting friends, family, and colleagues to join us in celebrating our journey. The retreat was a blend of dance, art, storytelling, and reflection, bringing together people from all walks of life to share their experiences and learn from each other. On the final evening of the retreat, we held a ceremony under the stars. As the firelight flickered and the sound of music filled the air, Emily and I stood before our gathered friends and family. "We wanted to take this moment to thank you all," Emily began, her voice filled with emotion. "Each of you has played a role in our journey, and we are grateful for your love and support." I took her hand, feeling the warmth of her touch. We've been blessed with an incredible journey filled with love, growth, and transformation. And we're excited to continue this journey together with all of you. As we looked out at the faces of those we loved, I felt a profound sense of connection and purpose. Our legacy was not just in the work we had done, but in the relationships we had built and the lives we had touched. The years passed, and the Harmony Foundation continued to grow, impacting communities around the world. Emily and I remained deeply involved, finding joy and fulfillment in every aspect of our work. One evening, as we sat on the porch of our home reflecting on our journey, Emily turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Do you ever think about what our legacy will be?" I smiled, feeling a deep sense of contentment. "I think our legacy is already clear. It's in the lives we've touched, the love we've shared, and the impact we've made. It's in Lily and the future generations who will continue our work." Emily nodded, her eyes filled with love. "And it's in us, in our journey together. We've created something beautiful, and I'm so grateful for every moment." As we embraced the future, I knew that our journey was far from over. We had created a life that was true to our values and our dreams, and we were ready for whatever adventures lay ahead. The Harmony Foundation continued to flourish, and our lives were filled with purpose and fulfillment. As we entered a new phase of our journey, Emily and I found ourselves reflecting more on the past and the path that had led us to where we were. One day, Emily received an invitation to speak at an international conference on healing and the arts, held in the city where our journey had begun, the city of the Dance Flash Mob Festival. The invitation brought back a flood of memories and emotions, and we decided it was time to return to the place where it all started. Lily, now in her final year of college, decided to join us for the trip. She had grown into a compassionate and insightful young woman, eager to understand more about the experiences that had shaped her parents' lives. As we arrived in the city, a sense of nostalgia washed over us. The streets, the landmarks, and the familiar faces brought back vivid memories of our early years together. It felt like coming full circle, a poignant reminder of how far we had come. The conference was held in a grand auditorium, filled with people from around the world who were passionate about healing through the arts. Emily's keynote speech was the highlight of the event, and as she stood on stage, sharing her journey and the transformative power of dance, I felt a deep sense of pride and admiration. Dance has the power to heal, to connect, and to transform, Emily said, her voice filled with conviction. It has been a guiding light in my life, leading me through challenges and helping me find strength and resilience. Our journey has been one of growth and discovery, and I am grateful for every step. The audience was captivated and moved by her words and the authenticity with which she shared her story. After the speech, there was a standing ovation, and I could see the impact she had made on everyone present. After the conference, we decided to visit some of the places that held special meaning for us. We took Lily to the park where the Dance Flash Mob Festival had taken place, sharing stories of that fateful day and the events that followed. "This is where it all began," Emily said, looking around the park. "It's incredible to think about how much has changed since then." Lily smiled, her eyes filled with curiosity. "I've heard so many stories about this place. It's amazing to see it in person and to understand how it all started. We spent the day exploring the city, visiting old haunts and reconnecting with friends we hadn't seen in years. It was a time of reflection and celebration, a chance to honor the journey we had been on and the people who had been part of it. One evening, as we sat in a cozy cafe, Emily and I shared a quiet moment, reflecting on our journey. "We've come full circle," she said softly. "Returning to this place, it feels like a chapter is closed and a new one is beginning." I nodded, feeling a deep sense of contentment. We've faced so many challenges, but we've also created something beautiful. And we've done it together, every step of the way. As we prepared to leave the city, we received an unexpected visitor, Jake's wife, Laura. She had heard about the conference and wanted to see us. We met at a small restaurant, catching up on each other's lives and sharing stories of the past. "Jake would have been so proud of what you've accomplished," Laura said, her eyes filled with warmth. "He always admired your strength and resilience." Emily smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. "Thank you, Laura. It means a lot to hear that." As we said our goodbyes, I felt a sense of closure. Our journey had brought us back to the place where it all began, and in doing so, had allowed us to reflect on how far we had come. Back in Europe, life continued to unfold in beautiful and unexpected ways. The Harmony Foundation expanded its reach, impacting more lives and creating a legacy of healing and connection. Lily graduated with honors and began working with international organizations, following in our footsteps and making a difference in the world. One evening, as we sat on the balcony of our home, Emily turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Do you ever think about the future? About what comes next?" I smiled, feeling a sense of excitement and possibility. "I think the future is full of promise. We've built something incredible, and there's still so much more to do." Emily nodded, her eyes filled with determination. "I want to continue growing the foundation, reaching more people, and creating more opportunities for healing and connection. And I want us to keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep living our best lives." I took her hand, feeling the warmth of her love. "We've come so far, and I'm excited for whatever comes next. Together we can accomplish anything." As we embraced the future, I knew that our journey was far from over. We had created a life that was true to our values and our dreams, and we were ready for whatever adventures lay ahead. Our dance through life continued, a beautiful, intricate pattern of steps that we navigated together. With each new chapter, we grew stronger, more united, and more in love. As we looked to the future, we were filled with hope and excitement, knowing that no matter where life took us, we would always face it together, united by love, resilience, and a shared vision of a beautiful, fulfilling life.